Hello, my name is Michael Grandi, and today I'll be talking about the importance of preserving and protecting herbaria and their specimens. Herbaria are natural history collections of dried and pressed plants. I've been working at the Margaret H. Fulford Herbarium as an undergraduate researcher, translating and databasing specimen labels, as well as repairing some damaged specimens. In this talk, I will be going over two specimens that I worked on and will explain the incredible information that can be extracted from them. The first specimen is a fern from the Polypodiaceae family. The spots that can be seen on the leaf are the spore-producing structures of the vascular plant. This specimen was collected by Curtis Gates Lloyd. Lloyd was one of three Lloyd brothers that started their own pharmaceutical company and library in Cincinnati in the 1800s. When he wasn't buying books as a librarian, he collected various plants, fungi, and herbarium species from all over the world, especially Samoa. Thanks to Lloyd, UC has over 500 Samoan specimens in its collection. This plant's name in Samoan is Lau Maga Maga. The leaves and the roots are commonly made into a tea to treat diseases like diarrhea, wounds, sores, and inflammations. There are cases where specimens need to be re-identified, as there could have been a name change or just an error on the original label. Art Whistler, who identified the plant, was an ethnobotanist and an expert on South Pacific flora, who borrowed 416 Samoan specimens from the herbarium and identified them all within 6 months. As an ethnobotanist, he learned from and became intertwined with the communities in the South Pacific. He was ultimately given the title Tupu Olevau Matuta, meaning King of the Forest, as a sign of their respect. Sadly, Art was one of the first victims of the COVID-19 virus in Hawaii, but left behind an incredible amount of information about the people and plants of the South Pacific. As you can see, a specimen carries a story of everyone who interacts with it. Each plant has its own unique history, and this information needs to be protected at all costs, as it would be terrible to lose all these stories because specimens were not taken care of properly. While the first example showed the historical value of specimens, this next one focuses more on the preservation. When repairing specimens, it is important to think whether the process will cause irreparable damage to a unique specimen. For example, if a fragile part of a plant is glued down to the paper, like a flower, it will almost be impossible to remove it without causing damage to it, to the plant, in which case it is better just to leave it alone. In the case of the specimen in the pictures, repairing it was obvious, as the leaves were completely unattached from the paper. To repair the specimen, archival grade glue was applied to the leaves and weighed down with a block to ensure a tight seal. An archival fabric strip was then attached at the bottom at a place where glue wouldn't have adhered well to the plant. Another method of preservation is mounting the specimen on acid-free archival paper. This paper lasts for a long time without degrading and falling apart. When the paper is used in tandem with the glue and fabric strips, it can make these very fragile and priceless specimens last for generations to come. This specimen, like all other specimens, possesses some history. This gray birch specimen was collected by Dorothy Parker, a UC graduate who earned her PhD in botany from the university as well. After, she joined the Rockefeller Foundation, where she became an associate director for agricultural sciences. Dr. Parker is in good company, as the herbarium has a record number of legendary female scientists like Margaret Fulford and Lucy Braun, who all pursued their passion, even though women were not accepted in science during that time. In the end, all herbaria contain irreplaceable specimens, each containing unique stories about the world that desperately need to be taken care of. When these specimens are properly cared for, they will last for many generations and can tell us about changes in climate, feeding habits of insects, as well as show us how extinction, invasive species, and human activity have altered the plants in the wild. hope that showing you the information these specimens have to offer has convinced you that they can potentially have massive scientific and historical applications for years to come. Thank you, and here are my references.